Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you very much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look here at Solana. I'm actually excited to talk about this one because I get to explain briefly how we took our trade and why we took our trade previously with the falling wedge breakout pattern, but also the double top that we have here forming as well. We want to kind of talk about those things. There's some important things to look at, so please make sure you stick around to the end to understand that. Quick congrats to our community members. This was 2 days ago, but mind you, we took 63% from a long position on Solana. Again, we took that roughly 20 days ago when the price was really down there, right in the right in the range here of about $17. So that was a couple weeks ago. We got a nice little entry there. Very happy with that. But again, congrats to our community members. We've taken some massive profits here. SUI, nice little long there. Bitcoin long, 45%. Lever, we just took 52% on a short, and I don't know if you saw this guy, but it's dropping like a rock. So congrats, continue to hold. I'm confident we'll probably hit our fourth and fifth profit target. So again, just cool stuff there. It comes with my Crypto Cash premium account, so feel free to check that out, link down below. There is a summertime sale going on right now. In fact, summer's over, so I should probably discontinue that, but I know there's a few people that were asking about it, so links down below for that. So when it comes to Lever USDT, correction, we don't care about that one. We're here for Solana. When it comes to Solana USDT, what we want to talk about is the bigger picture here in this regard, okay? And then obviously work our way down and see if it's going to break out further, if we're going to see a retracement, what the deal is, because I'm getting tons of questions right now. Is this going to reject at the current profile? Because again, we got a decent amount of volume here. If you exclude this most recent, lowest point about $19, we can see right here at about 24.25. That's the second or third most amount of volume accumulated at this current level, if you look at kind of the bigger picture here. Okay? So generally speaking, it's a pretty strong little area there. So we're going to probably get initial rejection, but we've already rejected a few times off this level. So we want to kind of find out if it's going to continue higher or not. So let's look at some things here. First of all, we're over 70 on the RSI, but you got to recognize money flow index is high. Okay, that's a good sign. Typically, when you have more money flowing into a coin, it's going to sustain its price action. Okay, so I'm not surprised the price is staying where it's at for the moment. We do have a divergence here forming for stochastic RSI, kind of letting us know that a pullback would make sense. Okay, because again, the very first one you do not trust, the second one you typically do. Okay, so to me, this is more likely to pull back than this previous one here because we swept some liquidity. We also are in a position where stochastic's kind of telling us we're overextended for the second time on this run. Okay, the first time I'm not concerned with. The second time, it's probably just an inevitability. We have that, and combine that with the double top pattern that we're seeing here. There's a distinct probability the price will pull back, but we want to be a little patient and or use low position size, low leverage, because I don't like shorting, period, honestly. But when I short, I like to make sure that I have some wiggle room because there's always these liquidity sweeps that occur. So we'll talk about that. In fact, let's just quickly note, see if there is any liquidity here in the 4-hour time frame. We don't see a tremendous amount. There's a lot, of course, on the daily with this massive candle wick up to 32. So keep in mind they could sweep. There's also another sweep here as well, upwards about 25. So retesting this level would make sense before it pulls back. So to me, I'd be much more interested in a short at like 25.50 than I would right now. Okay. Again, could miss out an opportunity. Totally, the price could drop and that's it, FOMO, right? But it's important not to fall into that and to be patient and find a good entry that you think is appropriate for your risk tolerance. Those are things I teach in my Trading Academy. That's all part of my premium membership. But simply put, I think it's important to be patient in this regard because even though we are seeing a double top and it should pull back, it may not. Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's go ahead and see where we're at. First of all, moving averages are looking good. Okay, so 0.618 price action is consolidating right there. That is perfect. In other words, all the moving averages are kind of hanging out in this area. So the price does pull back right there to $21 to $22 would be a great. Okay, so I like to look at entries at 0.618, 0.5, right in those ranges. Okay, so to me, that's why you see this alert right here. In fact, I'm going to adjust this a little bit higher. Price comes down to that range, right around 0.5. I'll get notified and I'll reevaluate, okay? But the key takeaway here is that I reevaluate. I don't just jump in blindly because it comes to that area, right? Things could change in the market. Bitcoin could be taking a nosedive. We never truly know. All right, so that's kind of where we're at there here so far on the daily. So the daily does look good, albeit overextended on the RSI, but that's not a massive overextension. It makes sense based on volume profile. Take a look at the 4-hour here. This is where things get kind of interesting. Look at these candle wicks. When you see this amount of candle wicks here, it leads me to believe that we're going to see a break to the upside. The main reason why is because it keeps trying. Like it keeps pushing, keeps getting rejected, but the bears only have so much to sell. They can only accumulate so much, and those previous profit targets are effectively they're selling at this point because they're concerned the price is going to go higher. So to me, right now, this ascending trend is looking pretty nice. We're seeing a nice little ascending trend with the 50 and 20-day SMA. We're on both sides of the tracks. It makes more sense for the price to continue a little bit higher and to probably have one last squeeze. Once again, you do got to recognize this double top pattern could very well play out and the price could pull back. Double tops have like a 60-70% probability. But once again, you want to evaluate other things going into it. We see a lot more liquidity above the price action at 25, 25.50. The price very well could go up there and sweep that. It's very common for this areas here to get retested, and then for it to be either retested as a support once it breaks through, or just to sweep up and then to sweep back down to get this lower level. There's like a power of 3. You can look into it. It's not exact here with what we're seeing so far, but there's definitely a situation where liquidity is swept and then it pulls back down to the lower levels. So my speculation here is the price is going to go up a little further. Because if we take a look here at TD sequential, we're not really massively overextended on the time frames. In other words, if you take a look here back, price comes down to a 9, we get a bounce, come up to a 9, we plateau for about 12 to 24 hours, price shoots up, another consolidation before that resistance level, shoots up once more, albeit overextended, but it holds above this 236 level, right? So 23.38 is a nice little support there, tentatively, for this coin. Now to me, the price continues higher, that would be an area to consider taking profit from a short if we get in around 25. Okay, so it'd be like a short from 25.50 to 23.50, something in that range. Again, these are just hypotheticals at the moment. We may not get there, but if we do, I'm going to be ready for a short around the $25 range. Because again, that just seems more appropriate to me because that just feels like we're going to get swept here once more, this little upper area. Okay, so all that being said, if we take a look here, got this nice little bounce here. We're only about 3 or 4 candlesticks into this continuation. Most continuation patterns last at least nine candles. Okay, so on this 4-hour time frame, 9 candles times 4, that's 36 hours. We're only about 12 hours in. Okay, so we're roughly 1/3 of the way into this. That combined with all these candle wicks leads me to believe we're going to see the price action shoot up. So I'm not super concerned with that double top pattern, but it is something to be mindful of. I just know that we're still bullish, and until it breaks bearish, I'm not going to bother shorting unless we're either overextended or we continue sideways and have trouble crossing this level for some time. Okay. But right now we can see a divergence here on the MACD that's typically assigned to sell. So keep that in mind. If you are in profit, it wouldn't be terrible to consider taking some profit. Once again, we took, what was it, somewhere in the range of about, I think it was October 1st. We took, what was it, I went back too far, sorry. Yeah, so October 1st, we took somewhere in the range of about, I think, 60% on our third profit target. Okay, now I'm having difficulty finding it. I'm sorry, there's so many different things in there. The simple way to understand it is that, we took 60% profit on our third target. Okay, I like to take roughly 60-70% of my first target and let the rest ride. So as we continue to maintain those profit targets, we're still in the green. Price pulls back, goes to break even, still okay. Okay. So what I'm getting at here is if you have profit to be taken, it wouldn't hurt to consider taking that depending on your overall strategy. Because once again, the price could pull back, but it seems more sensible the price will continue higher before it does. Okay, so we've identified quite a few things here. Last thing to identify would be on the hourly, if there is any overextension, which we see we just hit an 8, but that really truly doesn't matter too much because again, it's a double top. Good chance we will see the price action continue higher with this type of ascending trend. So a lot of times what happens is you get overextended leading into a key level resistance, and then it'll break and it'll squeeze out some shorts, and that's when you want to short after the other shorts get squeezed. Okay. Last but not least here, let's take a quick look at the Ichimoku cloud. We're starting to lose our momentum, so you should have considered closing your position or trimming your position by now. Conversion line's above the baseline, and we're still above the cloud. So we got 2 out of 3 indications telling us we're still in good shape for a long position. Once again, if the price naturally works sideways and down within the next 48 hours, and we're still at this $23 mark, there's a good chance we'll see the price slowly bleed out to the downside. That's when I'd be interested in shorting, or if the price spikes up to 25.50 range, happy to jump into a short there as well. Okay, so again, patience is key. Try not to just jump right in. I would not recommend a long position at this point. It just seems kind of overextended, even though it's going to break to the upside or seems more likely to. There's no guarantees that it will. Okay, so to me, I'd much rather wait for a little bit more of a certainty than or higher probability rather than a potential breakout. I don't like breakout trading. I think breakout traders are less successful in the overall sense of things. And yes, it is nice to be able to catch those breakouts. It also sucks when it turns right around and you got yourself a late long. Okay, so hopefully this made sense. I apologize, I jumped around a lot today here, but that's the whole point, is trying to kind of educate you on different things. So that's what I'm here for. Again, you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site. Jump on over to our Discord. We got a really cool group, cool community. It's a lot of fun to be able to just kind of interact with my traders. And obviously you want to communicate with me, feel free to jump on over there. Also help us like, follow, subscribe with Twitter and Telegram as well. Just trying to get those communities built up. We're just kind of late to the game. We started a couple months ago. All right, thanks again so much. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Have yourself a great rest of your day.